Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a film with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, released 20 years ago in 2005. The story followed two undercover assassins who meet and fall in love and instantly get married. But neither one of them is aware of the other's secret life, and soon become each other's target. However, they eventually realize that they can't pull the trigger, and soon become the targets of their respective organizations. Over time, I realized that there really is more to this film than just a power couple battling it out with each other and, in the end, love prevails, etc. Over time, I realized, what's the real antagonist of this film? You might think it's their own agencies who are coming after them. And yes, on the surface, that is true. In fact, their respective bosses were a lot more personified. You can look it up online that there was some deleted footage of their bosses in person working together instead of just being faceless entities, as it were. Eventually, though, the creators realized that it kind of took away from the main couple and the trouble they're getting through with their marriage. So then, what's the main antagonist? The facade of their marriage itself. Just so everyone knows, I'm going to be mainly talking about the theatrical cut of this movie. There does exist an unrated version, which I do recommend people watch, but for now, let's stick to the version everyone knows. The movie gives a lot of obvious metaphors regarding their secret jobs. Coming home with blood on the shirt instead of lipstick, taking your wedding band off, lying about where you're going at night. But there's more than just the obvious. Whenever they are maintaining their facade, they are usually wearing white, in this case being the color of bliss and happiness. When they are their true selves, as it were, they are wearing black, the color of stealth and mystery. When they are within their white facade, it's more than clear they are unhappy together. They barely communicate, their cars are opposite colors, they barely get out of the driveway simultaneously. They drive off in opposite directions. It couldn't be more clear they are practically strangers. But that's not all. Even the house itself represents their whole facade. When they disagree about the new drapes, John peers beneath the chandelier, letting some honesty out. When she turns out to be uncompromising, he hides again behind the white chandelier. John goes outside in the heavy rain to clean up their yard, an obvious metaphor for their suburban life being hazardous and messy, as opposed to how suburban life is meant to be more homely and clean. But then, after they discover each other's secret identities, that's when the real fight begins. It starts out very cat and mouse. Even the score music has a soft tango melody to it. Once the cat's out of the bag, the chase is on. John runs through the messy neighborhood, further representing suburban life being hazardous and them being out of place in it. During the restaurant scene, they slowly dance tango while disarming each other in public. I love the contrast this scene has with their earlier dance scene. Before, they were dancing in white out of love. Now they're dancing in hate, wearing black. They're technically married, and yet still strangers, in a way meeting for the first time. Eventually, Jane blows up the place and slips past him, and even the tango music has kicked up several notches as this dance has now become a battle. They fight and destroy everything in their house, symbolic for them tearing down the facade of their marriage. Even as they make love, they're still destroying all the fake stuff that didn't represent them wholly. This is also, of course, another contrast to when they first met.
Hi, stranger.
Are you back?
Hiya, stranger.
Are you back?
Now they are finally able to share with one another who they really are. But the facade isn't down just yet. This is when their agencies start to close in on them and they're forced to work together. It's only when their whole house is destroyed that the facade is now down and they start to reveal stuff about themselves to each other.
I was never in the Peace Corps.
I didn't go to MIT.
Baby, I've never cooked a day in my life.
I was married once before.
I'm Jewish.
Even the white shirts that they wear are now stained with blood, representing their happy, blissful life, now tainted. Eventually, they decide to kidnap and interrogate the supposed target of their mutual assassination attempt. We get more obvious symbolism regarding their respective body counts being their body counts.
Somewhere two at a time.
And also with questioning their prisoner like two parents in front of their child.
Maybe it's not such a good idea to undermine me from the hostage. It sends a mixed message.
Sorry.
Not to mention them bickering about the other being difficult to work with. So now that they've taken down their facade and their marriage now in the literal gutter, they now have to ask, where do they go from here? Do they go their separate ways and call it a failed marriage, or do they stay and stop their problems threatening to destroy them? They escape to a department store where they load up and prepare to fight an army. I used to be confused why they chose to wear these fancy suits for shooting a bunch of gunmen, but then I kind of realized that this is them wearing another facade, which are, again, contrasting colors. Even the store itself could be symbolic for domestic home life further being destroyed to discover who they really are as a couple. I love this little joke of them in the elevator with the sign behind them, symbolic for the gift of marriage. And then when they escape back into it, it's now covered in bullet holes. They try to work separately, but they nearly get defeated and their clothing gets shot to pieces, so they shed their facade for the last time. They start to think that they can accomplish anything together, and they still love each other as they are. They emerge as a couple, and we once again hear the song that played for them before, representing the beginning of a relationship for them.
I was patrolling the Pachico, your noodle model parlor in the nefarious zone.
At first, it was when they first danced together, showing the beginning of their fake relationship. Then it was when they made love in the house, showing the beginning of their true relationship. Now it's playing to show the beginning of their marriage. It's become sort of their theme song in a way. They work together to defeat their common enemy, which could possibly represent the problems they've been facing with their marriage that has kept them emotionally apart. They defeat them and stand back to back. Now they are truly Mr. and Mrs. Smith. If I may give one personal feeling here regarding the ending, I think that the movie should have gone with one of the alternate endings, where it's revealed that they now have a child. I feel like it was set up perfectly in the movie, with Jane holding the baby at the party and John looks at them awkwardly, and them interrogating their hostage like parents bickering. I feel like it would have been a good payoff that would have cemented them as a real married couple, as opposed to the ending we got where they're back in therapy and it ends on an awkward sex joke.
More conducive to the
That's
free
just a
flow.
sex question.
Well, that.
Not only is it a little off-putting for me, but I feel like it tells us the progress they've made, whereas the alternate ending shows us where they're at right now. But that's just me. What do you guys think? And what do you think of Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Whatever it is, don't be shy, leave a reply. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook, X, and please support me on Patreon. And if you like this video, you can like, comment, and subscribe to the J-Man. Keep looking deep.